Welcome to Procedureflow's Art of the Flow series. This short video explains how to reuse subflows in Procedureflow. One of the many advantages of subflows in Procedureflow is that you can link to them from any other flow within an entry point. When mapping out processes, mappers should always ask themselves if the steps they are mapping are common for more than one procedure. If the answer is yes, it's best to push the common steps into a subflow to reduce mapping time and eliminate duplication. As time advances and a larger number of flows are mapped out, situations will inevitably arise when a mapper isn't sure if common steps in a process have already been mapped out or not. Here are a few tips to help mappers determine whether or not subflows currently exist or if the current configuration of flows and subflows must change. First, when mapping a new procedure, if you arrive at a point in the flow where the steps are common in many of the department or organization's processes, stop and do a search to see if the steps are already mapped in an existing flow. In the Jump to Flow search bar, try searching for keywords that may appear in the flow which contains the common steps. If any results appear, click into the flows to check if the steps contained within them fit with the flow that you are building. If you find a flow that has the steps already mapped out for you, that's fantastic. Make a note of the name of the subflow. Navigate back to the flow you are building, add whatever shape is appropriate to the canvas, and click the link button at the top right. Make sure the Existing Flow radio button is selected and start typing the name of the flow until it appears in the search results. Select it, click Add, and your new flow now links to the subflow containing the necessary steps. Another tip when choosing an existing subflow to link to in a new flow is to make sure that if the subflow contains an endpoint, that will work for all situations. If not, you may need to simply copy many of the steps from the subflow into your new flow, or make adjustments to that subflow so that it does work for all situations. This could be as easy as adding an additional decision diamond in the subflow, asking the viewer what process they're doing, which could have two possible outcomes, one being the endpoint, and the second instructing the viewer to go back and continue. One final tip is that sometimes when you find a subflow that could be useful, but doesn't quite work in all situations due to some small variances in the process, you can still save a lot of mapping time by copying the existing subflow and pasting the shapes into your new flow. Then, simply make the necessary changes for the variances in the process. Using the shapes from the existing flow will save valuable mapping time. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the other videos in the Art of the Flow series.